I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass. I'm back in my helmet, cleats and shoulder pads. Standing in the huddle, listening to the call. Fans going crazy for the boys of fall. They didn't let just anybody in that club. Took every ounce of heart and sweat and blood to get to wear those game day jerseys down the hall. The kings of the school, man, where the boys are fall. Well, it's turn and face the stars and stripes. It's batting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air, all right, yes sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got us all.
It's time for this week's Buzzer Beaters. Listen as our experts pick the results of 5 local games. Buzzer Beaters, every week exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hello and welcome to this week's Malin Webb Show. Coach, last week you took on North Posey Vikings. You played at home. Why don't you recap that game for us?
Against North Posey, we came out of the gates hot. We got a 3-and-out offensively. We drove the ball right down the field, scored, and we got up 7-0. And then, after that, our offense just stalled for about 2 quarters. And then towards the end of the third, we were able to drive it all the way back down the field, get to the 1, and then, penalties started to come into effect. And, like I told the kids, we're our own worst enemy right now. And so, we just had a lot of mental errors on Friday. And then fourth quarter, we were still down 14-7, driving the ball again, got past the 50, and then, another penalty as we were driving, which just stalled the drive. And so, Posey ended up taking over, and I think within the last 6 minutes, they scored 3 touchdowns. And so, it got out of hand, 35-7. But, if we eliminate the penalties, eliminate the mistakes, the mental errors, we're right in that ball game up until the 48th minute. And so, that's just something that we've been preaching to kids this week is, get out of your own heads. Don't beat yourselves. If you do that, you'll be able to compete with any team in the conference.
And I know, as coaches, you guys don't like hearing this, but as a fan, I could say this. For a first-year coach, you've got a heck of a schedule.
Yeah, I was actually looking the other day, and I think, the Sagarin rating has us ranked as like the second toughest schedule in both the big and small school PAC. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's every single week we're playing a good team, and it's tough, and we have to have perfect practices throughout the week in order to win on Fridays. And we've had some good practices, but we haven't put together a great week so far, and obviously that shows with our record.
We'll be back on the Malin Webb Show right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Malin Webb Communications.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All-Star Sports is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, and Saturday, 9 to 4. All-Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Life's better under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you work so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
And welcome back to the Malin Webb Show. Coach, this week you play at home against Hancock County, a rival that's right across the river from you. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, everybody remembers kind of what happened in that game last year. Ultimately, we fell 16-13 against a Hancock County team that had, a lot of seniors on their roster. And, they're a really good football team. And one thing about them is they're very well coached. Offensively, their philosophy has changed a little bit from last year to this year, just because they have different personnel. But ultimately, they're always going to have very, very good athletes, and they're always going to be really physical up front and very big. That's kind of what we're seeing on film this year as well. They're a young team, got a lot of sophomores and juniors on the field, but nonetheless, they're very big and very physical up front. And so, that kind of plays into, what we want to do as well on Friday night. And so I think it'll be a fun game to watch. Our offensive line, our defensive line going up against their lines as well. Just because guys are going to, grind it out in the trenches. And so, for us, nothing changes. We want to run the football, get it to our playmakers, and ultimately, let our offensive line and our defensive line carry the workload for us. And so, I'm excited. This is a very, very big game. I know this is only the second year for this game, but I said a few years ago, when we learned that Hancock County was on the schedule, I started telling some people around the Tell City community that in a few short years, I think that our game with Hancock County will probably be our biggest rivalry game on our schedule. Just because it's Kentucky versus Indiana right across the bridge. There's not much love between the two communities, but there's also a lot of people, a lot of families that work with each other from each of the communities too. There's a lot of factories where there's crossover between both communities, I guess I should say. And so, I think that's what makes this rivalry unique and interesting is, there's just a lot of factors that play into it. And ultimately, those factors kind of feed into the kids and the players as well. And, it makes for a really great atmosphere on Friday night against them.
And I know that I talk about the Terry boys a lot, and I know that the offensive line has a lot to do with that, but they're both averaging close to 10 yards per carry. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. When we played Perry Central week 1, our JV team went over there on Monday to play them, and I was talking with Coach Gibson from Perry, who I believe you have a show with as well. And me and him got to talking about some things, and I think he asked if Landon was related to Noah or vice versa. And of course, I'm like, yeah, they're twins. And he said something about both of them being really good. And I said, well, Sawyer Gilliam, he's also very, very talented as well. And Coach Gibson, he made the comment. He's like, I think the 3 best running backs in all of Southern Indiana are in Perry County between those 3. And, that kind of resonated with me. Both communities, the Perry Central community and the Tell City community kind of thrive off, that grittiness, that toughness, ground and pound type of football. And so, the Terry twins are very, very talented. And, everybody always has their eyes on them and everybody always talks about them. And as they should because of how talented they are, but they're equally just as good of kids. They take academics extremely serious. And, they excel at wrestling, they excel at track, and they're excelling on the gridiron as well. So, in my eyes, those 2 kids are just winners. But, none of the gridiron success would happen without the 5 guys up front. And, they know that as well. And they'd be quick to point that out. And so, no, our 5 guys up front have been very much improved from last year. And I think we'll just see kind of that position continue to get better as the season progresses and even continue to get better heading into next year. We're still pretty young up front. So, it's something to look forward to and be excited about.
And, you said you and Coach Gibson were talking about having 3 really good backs on the field. I thought about that too. That first game, there probably weren't in the state probably three backs of that caliber all on the field at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's pretty remarkable. Just how good of running backs, the county here has. And so, that's something to be excited about. Even if you're a fan of Perry Central or you're a fan of Tell City, regardless, it's something to be proud about that, you probably have the better running backs in all of Southern Indiana in Little Perry County. And so, I find that almost like a compliment to this community. And so, no, it's like I said, it should be something that everybody's excited about.
And, and as of halftime of the Hancock County game, this season will be half over. And, looking at what you got left before sectional, you got Southridge, you got Pike Central. Pike Central team that's better than usual.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tecumseh team. You got a very good Gibson Southern team. And then you get to play your home team. You grew up as a South Spencer Rebel, and you get to play them. I mean, it's going to prepare you guys for the sectional.
Yeah, it absolutely will. We get our fair share of 3As and 2As and even 1As, but nonetheless, I think every team that we play throughout the rest of the season, can be categorized as just competitive. And that just sums up Southern Indiana football as a whole. There's really no off week. And so, but no, you hit the nail on the head when you said Pike Central's much improved. And then obviously, you've got a Tecumseh team coming off the season that they had last year. They're always going to be worrisome. And then Southridge, Southern Indiana football powerhouse over the last 10 years. And Hancock County this week, who's 3-1, and South Spencer, who's got every year they've just got athletes and playmakers on the field. That can make any defense nervous. So no, it's no joke playing the schedule that we do. But we pointed out Friday after the loss. At this point in time in the season last year, we were 1-3, and we're 2-2 now, and we only have 6 seniors. So I think there's a lot of positives to come from this year, win or loss. It's just kind of up to us as coaches and players to make sure that we're learning from those losses, and we're not making those same mistakes over and over again.
Well, Coach, good luck this week against Hancock County.
Thanks, Joe.
And you've been listening to the Malin Webb Show on Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Million Brothers for Communications. We'll see you next week.
I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass. I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads. Standing in the huddle, listening to the call. Fans going crazy for the boys that fall. They didn't let just anybody in that club. Took every ounce of heart and sweat and blood to get to wear those game day jerseys down the hall. The kings of the school, man, where the boys are fall. Well, it's turning face to stars and stripes. It's batting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air, all right, yes sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got us all.